In ancient civilizations, men were so obsessed with their virility that they would literally consume ground-up animal testicles. It sounds like a gross modern myth, but archaeological evidence suggests this was just the beginning of a truly bizarre medical obsession. For centuries, men have been desperate to boost their strength, and they were willing to try absolutely anything to get an edge. I am talking about methods so extreme and dangerous that they would make a modern man pass out just by hearing them. Later in this video, you will discover the most shocking and painful secret ancient men used for performance. So, keep watching and you will be absolutely amazed, because the truth about ancient male enhancement is far weirder than any pill you can buy at a gas station today. So, how exactly did our ancestors try to become the ultimate alpha males of their tribes? Believe it or not, the obsession with male power dates back to the very first organized civilizations in Mesopotamia. Ancient men didn't have internet forums to debate their insecurities, so they turned to the local tribal shamans. And the shamans, being the original marketing geniuses, were happy to sell them miracle cures for a price. One of the most common beliefs across almost every ancient culture was the principle of like cures like. If you wanted to be as strong as a bull, you didn't just train like one, you had to eat like one. This meant consuming the organs of the most aggressive, powerful, and sexually active animals they could find. But while eating goat testicles might just be a disgusting snack, some ancient men went way further. In ancient China, the imperial doctors took this obsession to a whole new level of complexity. They created elaborate multi-ingredient potions that included everything from rare roots to exotic animal parts. We are talking about powders made from rhinoceros horn, seahorses, and even ground-up tiger bones. These men were basically playing a high-stakes version of Pokemon, trying to catch and eat every rare creature in the wild. But let's be real for a second. A lot of these ancient potions were essentially expensive placebo effects. However, the physical toll of these treatments was very, very real for the men who took them. Now you might think, hey, at least they weren't doing anything physically dangerous to their own bodies. Well, you would be wrong, because ancient men were willing to suffer actual physical mutilation. This brings us to the mysterious and often misunderstood world of ancient tribal initiation rites. In many cultures, becoming a man wasn't just about age, it was about proving your endurance through pain. In some parts of the ancient world, young men had to endure ritual scarification or intense heat. They believed that by pushing their bodies to the absolute limit, they were unlocking a dormant fountain of energy. It was like the world's most brutal, life-threatening fitness challenge, but with 0 gym memberships. The pressure to perform was so high that men were terrified of being seen as weak by their peers. And if your tribe thought you were lacking in strength, your social status would plummet instantly. Imagine having your reputation ruined because you couldn't keep up with a group of hunters on a 3-day trek. It's no wonder they were so desperate to find a quick fix, even if that fix was totally insane. But hold on, because we haven't even touched upon the most bizarre part of this ancient obsession. We have to talk about the strange herbal concoctions that were traded along the ancient Silk Road. Merchants would travel thousands of miles just to sell rare, magical seeds that supposedly turned men into warriors. These seeds were often just common plants, but the marketing was brilliant, promising eternal youth and vigor. The gullibility of ancient men was truly the first global market for miracle supplements. Men were buying these useless seeds for small fortunes, hoping for a miracle that never actually came. It's almost funny how little human nature has changed over the last 5,000 years. We are still buying miracle supplements today, just in fancy plastic bottles instead of clay pots. But now, as I promised at the beginning, we need to dive into the most shocking secret of all. I told you there was a specific, horrifying method that ancient men used for enhancement. It wasn't just about eating weird food or taking herbal supplements. It was about direct physical intervention. In certain ancient societies, when all else failed, men would turn to the terrifying practice of extreme cauterization. They would use heated metal instruments to apply intense heat to specific pressure points near the pelvic region. The logic was that the heat would stimulate the dormant energy and jumpstart the body's natural power. It was basically like using a fire poker to fix a plumbing issue, and the pain was absolutely unimaginable. The survival rate of this procedure was a roll of the dice, but men were still lining up for it. They were so terrified of losing their status that they chose potential agony over the shame of being lesser. It puts our modern gym struggles into a very different perspective, doesn't it? This extreme obsession highlights just how hard life was and how much they valued physical performance. They were living in a brutal survival of the fittest world where being strong meant everything. It wasn't just about ego, it was about survival, protection, and the future of the tribe. The history of human desperation is one of the most fascinating and dark parts of our past. If you want to keep exploring these mind-blowing mysteries of our ancestors, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You definitely don't want to miss our next video where we uncover the secret lives of ancient athletes. Thanks for watching, and remember, even the strangest history is still part of our own story.